Welcome to TechMark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for TechMark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect. Join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Hi everyone, welcome to TechMark Pod. Today it's a Freedom Day, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, it's Human Rights Day. We actually didn't know that was a holiday when we booked this day. I don't know if you knew that was a holiday.
I didn't actually. I had a couple of meetings that I had booked for today as well. So I only realized yesterday.
Sabelo, welcome to TechMark Pod.
Thank you very much.
I know you'd want to call it Martech, but it's TechMark Pod.
Yeah, that's our word.
Yeah, so Sabelo, I understand you're a Martech guy, and it's almost similar to what I am and what I preach, what we believe in, and it was quite an interesting and intriguing discovery. It's almost, I don't know if I call it a serendipitous discovery. When I saw your profile on LinkedIn, I'm like, oh wow. This is the first time I'm seeing someone talking about Martech in South Africa.
Same here.
You know what I'm like? No, I got excited. You know, I'm like, this guy is onto something. I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been preaching about tech and marketing as far back as 2012, but it was a very it was a topic that no one wanted to talk about, or maybe it was not really out there or whatever it is. But
it's still not actually.
Yeah,
it's not. I'm glad that you actually decided to do such a thing, because this podcast is going to give a lot of people information that is only in certain corridors, if I may put it like that.
Yeah.
And in South Africa, it's only just the beginning for Martech, or for marketing technology, basically, because it's only a few people that actually advocate for it and a few people that actually do.
Definitely. Because the School of Marketing Technology, it was started, the School of Thought, I want to say the School of Thought was started over 10 years ago, you know, in American authors and think tanks have been talking about that over the years. And if I remember reading some of the blogs back then, they were talking about the introduction of the chief marketing technologist, you know, and we are here 10 years later. South Africa doesn't have anything of that nature, you know. So if there was the introduction of the chief marketing technologist 10 years ago, and right now, if you look at the organizations, they're almost like concentrating now on tech, which is the CTOs, the AI technology officer, or whatever it is that they're talking about. But again, we need to start from the beginning. Sabelo, welcome again, and I would like you to introduce yourself and tell us more about who is Sabelo, Asante Solutions, your company. You also have the software, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Alvin. My name is Sabelo Madiba. I'm a migration in Johannesburg. We come from Durban, and I come from the company called Asante Solutions. We are a marketing technology company. We basically started off as a normal digital agency like everyone does, but then through understanding the dynamics that we were having in servicing our clients, we sort of came up with a solution to solve that problem. Those problems being obviously the data analytics, managing the multi-platforms to service the clients. And we thought of an idea of how can we then pull this into one platform, instead of us having to go to that platform for social media, that platform for emailing, that platform for customer relationship management. How can we then put it into one platform so that one doesn't have to jump, you know, and have just one report from one system that is correlating to each and every aspect of what we are servicing the client with. And then that's when the birth of Asante PowerCRM came about, which is the platform that is out there now. We have a couple of clients that we are servicing, from small to corporate to medium companies, and the response is quite intriguing, because everybody is just on and on and on about it. I think just yesterday, if not the day before yesterday, we had a client that was commenting on our socials, on LinkedIn actually, who is using our Asante PowerCRM, and they were just on and on and on about how it's helping them in terms of their business development department. So yeah, man, Asante PowerCRM is something that we are busy trying to get out there right now. And as we spoke about this earlier on, that marketing technology is not yet advocated for, especially in South Africa, but yet people are using it. Some of them are using it. They just don't know that they are in the technology side of it.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
You know, and it's just a matter of finding platforms like this. As I said, congratulations. This is such a spectacular platform for us
thank you.
To talk about such
Thank
things.
you.
Yeah.
We're just making sure that we exist as Martech people, because if you look at it, the future of a marketer, you definitely need to understand tech.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the future, but that's exactly what's
Currently
happening
right now.
You understand? Possibly, maybe because we are behind in terms of the revolution in South Africa, but the world has moved on to say when they're looking for a marketing manager, the marketing manager should be a tech person and should understand marketing at the same time. But then it becomes as if like recruiters are asking for too much.
Yeah.
But
a lot. They'd be asking for an agency and they say they want an intern. I'm like, how?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a conversation with a lecturer next week, Wednesday, from Wits. And I'm thinking I need to actually speak about the curriculum. Is it representing what's happening on the ground, or there's a gap that's different?
To go there.
You understand what I mean? Yeah.
There's a huge gap, actually. So what we are also trying to do as Asante Solutions, we do a lot of guest lecturing. We visit universities and try to teach the young marketers to sort of try and familiarize themselves with what's currently happening in the industry, because the curriculum doesn't actually cover anything that is in the industry, you know.
What's happening?
Yeah, when you get in as an intern, you are just so bombarded with a lot of things that you don't understand, you know. And it speaks to part of the projects that we've done. Well, I've done personally now.
Yeah.
When I was still working very closely with my university, which is Mangosuthu University of Technology, I used to have workshops where I would teach not only just marketing students, but also everybody who was willing to learn about the shift of the technology to each and every career. Yeah. Because it's not only just about marketing, but I think each and every career or every profession right now is migrating to technology very fast.
Definitely.
You know? I think it's a very good point that you are touching, that the curriculum itself, it does not cover anything that is currently happening on the industry. And it's up to the Department of Education, obviously higher education, the universities themselves, and also the students themselves. I eager students mostly to say they need to learn more outside of their curriculum, because at the end of the day, when we are looking for people to come and work for companies like us, we look into what you are doing outside of your normal curriculum or schedule of school.
What more can you offer?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I always say they then need to start learning these tools while they are still in school.
Definitely. So let's talk about Asante PowerCRM. It's a PowerCRM, right?
Yes, Asante PowerCRM.
Okay, there's something that probably you're underestimating what you have done. You've changed the game. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Let's look at how many South African companies have offered or have a software on the market that does what your CRM does. Many people, when they start thinking about doing business, they go on the internet, they search for CRM system, and most of those, they are American-based. You know what I mean?
Expensive.
And they are very expensive.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of things that happens with all those CRMs. But for you to be able to come up, and your team to come up with a CRM system, trust me, that's a milestone.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Let's be clear. We're talking of Sabelo coming from Port Shepstone, not Sabelo coming from Senton. Yeah.
Down in the
You understand what I mean? Nothing wrong with Port Shepstone. Port Shepstone is one of the best holiday places that we can ever be. Yes. But normally in South Africa, we always think that everything happens in Senton or happens in Cape Town. But the idea of coming up with the CRM system, so I want to know, how did you guys come up with this idea and launch the CRM system?
Honest, I will not take the credit.
Yeah.
I will give the credits where it's due. Muhle Ndwalane is our managing director.
Yeah.
And he's the one that actually came about with the idea to say, look, guys, I think it's time we try and change the game. So we were part of Accenture program, the ESD program. So during that program, we were learning a lot about the digital transformation and the shift within the marketing sector, you know, and how they approach things as an international or a global entity, you know, and that sort of made us understand, or made him rather understand, how we ourselves as Asante Solution can reposition our business in the market currently. And from there, when we were attending a lot of workshops with Accenture and a lot of stuff, then he got to understand that, no, this is the direction for us now. So he came to us and said, guys, look, we are doing pretty well, but I think we can do way better. You know, this was last year, 2023. So then he started to say, let's look around and see what is it that we can develop that can shift the way we do the work. It was, when we started, it was an internal thing. It was not for us to take it to the market. It was for us to do our job better, because he has a background in technology. He also is a tech person like you. He's way too technical about everything. Like, if he was here right now, that when we started doing this, he would have came to you and started doing things. You know, he's a nerd, but he doesn't want to agree to that.
He doesn't want to accept it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to accept it, you know. So he came to us and he was like, no, look, I think we can develop something for ourselves, because we were subscribing to a lot of platforms.
It becomes a lot.
Sometimes you get credits there and then your credits are over.
Finished,
you know, you can't do things. And then it was like, I'm tired of doing this thing now. We need to start thinking abroad about this. And that's how Asante PowerCRM came about. We started working with people from India, people from Spain, trying to see how we can integrate into a tool that is essentially a one-stop shop for every marketing person. Because our system, essentially, what it does is it sort of integrates we call it marketing. We integrate the sales department with the marketing department, and then we include a little bit of operation and finance in between, because your sales obviously include your finance, and then your sales also include your operations, because once you have gathered the client in, you have onboarded the client on, the process goes to operations, what needs to be actually delivered to the client, right? So we were like, okay, how can we then develop a tool that is going to help a salesperson to track his sales process? After he has tracked his sales process, he has landed the client. How can a finance person from the very same system issue out an invoice? Right? From there, how can then a person from finance acknowledge a receipt of the invoice being paid to then send a notification to the operations
to kick
off the project? You know, but all of that is supported by the marketing that is being done for us to even get that client.
Wow.
You know? So that's how we thought about it when we built it. And then obviously the development...
It almost sounds like a digital marketing agency in a box.
That's what we did. And every time when you're trying to sell to, for instance, if you're going to find a company that doesn't necessarily take marketing seriously, it becomes very difficult, because they just don't understand why they need the tool. You know, and then you have to thoroughly make them understand why exactly they need it. So that's why we started the webinar.
We're gonna get to the webinar.
To try and teach people about these things, you know, because you get to an entrepreneur who's doing very good for themselves, but because they're doing good, they don't feel the need of having such tools in their business, but not divesting so much. Yeah, that's how we developed Asante PowerCRM. Currently, now what we learned actually, after we were tried it internally, we learned that, we can actually pretty much do anything we wanted to do, you know. That's why when we sell it, we let people know that it's customizable. What it does is it comes into your business, and then it learns how your business works, and then it integrates that model of your business into itself, you know. But obviously that is done by person behind the Asante PowerCRM to take your business model and embed it into the system.
And integrate it into the system. That's amazing. I once attended an event for software that is from Canada, somewhere in Joburg. I won't say the name of the software, but I was quite disappointed. The hall was full of people listening to these people, and they're introducing this software and saying this software does everything that you want, even marketing. You can build a website. You can do. They were saying everything that really, you know, sounds like you want this software. Business operations of any business kind, you know what I mean? But then when I was sitting in the crowd, I could hear people with complaints. They haven't responded to me. They can't do this. They can't. And I thought to myself, why do we have software that is coming all the way from Europe and America, and well, at least we can develop our own software that does the same thing. You understand? So I think we need to showcase Asante PowerCRM. We need to showcase it as much as we can. Do you understand? And hoping to get more and more clients on board, because that's a huge software that you guys actually did. It's a big milestone in marketing. If I look at the journey of marketing agencies, so I'm not so sure about your journey. Did you, when you finished university, did you go on into a marketing agency?
Okay, so this is how this thing played out. So, as I said, that we were in varsity and we were part of a program that is called Enactus, and it's an entrepreneurship program that helped us to understand our entrepreneurship values and stuff like that. And Muhle literally started the company while he was still in varsity. Back then, it was just simply doing your logos, your websites, and stuff. But then he realized that, you know what, I don't think I'm going to corporate. I'm just going to stick to this. I'll build it until I see where it gets me, you know, up until today. Me, on my side, I was fortunate enough to be headhunted and get an internship before even finishing my third year. So I then went to the industry like that. I started working as a sales and marketing coordinator while I was still doing my third year. Then a lot happened after that. And then I also started my own business on the side. I ran my agency, my marketing agency. Motle was running his own marketing agency on the side. And then because we were very close from even in varsity, we kept on working with each other each and every time. You know, if there was a project that I thought it was too big for me, I'd communicate with him and we'd do it together and so forth and so forth. And then we ended up saying, no, you know what, let's just call this thing and sit down and try and see how can we work together.
Okay, so you came together you came up with Asante.
No. Everything, as I said, every credit goes to Mutle.
Mutle, okay.
Every credit goes to Mutle. I came in when he had built almost everything. Then I came in to sort of scale that. So when it comes to developments,
more like you complement each other. You said he's a geek. And of course, you are not a geek. We all can see that.
I'm just a people's person, man.
People's person.
That's what I do. I'm business development. That's my role in the business. It's to try and get more business for the Asante CRM and for all the other things that we do, and also try and structure partnerships, you know, get investments. We are actually open to investments for the Asante PowerCRM. So if there's somebody who'd like to sit down,
out of the podcast, I'll connect you to a VC.
Really appreciate.
He's much available to do that. You maybe try to come up with something.
Thank you. Because as you said, man, we really need to take the platform out there and get more clients, and we are doing that every day. We try to do that, but we really think that there's a lot that we still need to do in terms of brand positioning and awareness itself. You know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
There is a lot of work when you are creating awareness on a new software. It's not as easy as it might sound. You know, that's when you actually need a VC and all that stuff too. I know Google runs some kind of like, I think they invest into startups and then they give you, you know, your credits for advertising and all that stuff. But I don't know when that opens. We tried it some time ago during COVID, but we didn't get it with one of our startups, but
didn't work.
Something happened. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you win.
You win, That's the nature of it.
So I saw that you guys started the webinars, right? So what's your intention with the webinars? I've seen the webinars. I attended one webinar yesterday. What is the intention behind the webinars?
So the webinar started as a form of teaching people actually, or having a conversation with people about the marketing technology itself. the nature of it. How is it disrupting the current situations with the agencies that are running their digital agencies traditionally, and how can business leverage the marketing technology stacks, the tools? How do you choose the tools? How do you use data to sort of drive the informed decisions? It's essentially there to teach and inform and advocate for marketing technology in the biggest way we can. And we are growing each and every day, man. We only started the webinar in Feb.
Oh, like last month?
No, we've only had like 4 episodes, if not 5. Yeah, I think yesterday it was the 4th or the 5th one. But they happen every bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, okay.
Yeah. So they happen every bi-weekly, and each and every webinar has a specific topic that will come with a specific guest that specializes in that topic. In that topic, yes.
Okay.
And the idea for that is to have somebody that's going to give an in-depth explanation of each and every aspect of that topic that we're talking about on that particular day. Okay. So you'd find that what happens is that you'd find that people actually have a lot of questions regarding that. You even get recommendations of topics that people want to have on the webinar. But we're really hoping that we will run it into a production someday.
Yeah.
We would have it in a production like this, but with an audience where we have breakfast sessions, afternoon sessions, and have the audience. It's
possible.
Yeah.
It is possible.
And talk about these things, because to be honest, there's a lot to learn. And for us, it's also a learning curve, because we speak about things that we do every day, things that we do every day. Then the audience will come with the issues that they are facing. Because some of the people that come into our webinar, it's our clients themselves. They will come in with some of the things that they would like the Asante PowerCRM to help them with.
Wow.
Then we have ideas of how we can do that.
I think it is. Those are good sessions, because you get feedback of the software when people are using them, and you can actually resolve those issues. In real time, rather than to then get a queue of tickets being logged and whatever. It's very interactive, I should say.
No, we try and make sure that it's not a teaching session, but it's an engagement session all the time.
Okay, so if Asante has a CRM system, are you still doing the traditional services, digital marketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's a very good question, actually, because a lot of people, they assume that that's the only thing that we are selling. So how we have structured ourselves is that we give you the tool, then we can give you the services to support the tool. For instance, we can obviously give you the software, and you can operate it yourself if you have the means and the capacity to do that. But there's also another side where we say, let's give you the tool, and then we can give you the support to actually run the tool and run the activities of the tool, which will be your social media management, which will be your email campaigns, and a whole lot of other things that we do. But we are still a digital marketing agency that has its own marketing tool to service you.
I get you.
So because what happens is that with the other agencies, they will be onboarded, they will use the tools, and they will use the different type of tools that come from God knows where. But we come in, then we use our very own tool. And the nice thing is that we give you the tool for you to actually access the tools to measure and monitor what we do for you.
Oh, okay.
So this is how this would happen. We'll come to you.
Yeah.
You are running a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And then we say, let's give you the podcast for you to see how you are doing on TikTok, how you are doing on Instagram, how you are doing on Twitter. Then you're like, hey guys, you know what? I have work every time and I don't have time to actually market myself. Can you also guys do that? And then you're like, oh yeah, cool, definitely. So we will be the ones coming in doing all the work, the services for you. But your job is to go to the dashboard and see how we are doing your work. So we give you the tools to actually track us,
monitor
us.
So there's a question I want to ask in terms of product, right? You guys launched a CRM as a product. Before you had a product and after you have a product, do you think that your marketing is now different?
Way different.
the responsiveness of the market
Way different.
What's your take on that?
I get your question. Way different. I'll give you a typical example. We were actually talking about this with Moshe, with another client yesterday.
Yeah.
We are an official digital growth partner for University of KwaZulu-Natal, and we do strategic campaigns with them.
Yeah.
Primarily, the one we use the most is the graduations. If you've seen the UKZN graduations, they are now actually a trendsetter for every graduation in South Africa.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to get on stage now and showcase who they are. They are a vendor, they are a penny.
That's the trend.
Yeah.
I've seen that, but I've been wondering what's happening there.
That's because of the campaign we did with UKZN when we started doing their graduations. Essentially, what we were doing there, we were trying to shift the narrative of UKZN being the trendsetter of the fees must fall, the burning the buildings. So their online presence was no longer appealing. So our job was to change that narrative digitally, and we did that successfully. So, and we were doing that while trying. We were still in the building phase of the Asante PowerCRM, but then we were using it as a pilot. You know, trust me. You know, during the graduation day, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that goes on, especially if you are doing production, because we do production as well.
AI automations in the CRM. So I wanted to know if it's possible that the CRM will be able to automate the social media posting and scheduling. Not that I want to fire people, but
AI and firing people, hey, it's a problem.
What is the capability of Asante CRM?
Yeah. Okay, so on the system, what we have is we have what you call this scheduling calendar.
Yeah.
So what the AI can do is that you can preload all the content that you want to post on your socials.
Yeah.
And then what will then happen is that it will study how you are doing on your socials, and then it will give you recommendations on when to post and when not to post. So what will happen is that you'll have somebody that's managing the system, right? You don't have to fire everybody. You still have, at least you need to still have one person that's going to sort of manage the system. So what that person does is that they'll load the content on the system, and then they'll create pre-posting content, right? And then they'll send it to you for reviewing if you want to review first before posting. Okay,
just a quick one while you're there, right? Can we give access to the client to review before you post?
Yes.
So there's a client dashboard?
Dashboard, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So what you can do is, even if you want to have a certain part that you can see and the client can see a certain part, you can do that. Not that they can see everything that you are doing on the system, but you only want them to see this certain part. Right?
Okay, so there's access management.
Yes, there's access management. We were very careful with that one.
Yeah.
Because some people will get the platform for themselves, but also they are managing a lot of things for their clients. Because we also sell to other agencies, and the agencies would want to have the clients to see the scheduling of the content on their social media. So that's very important. But as I was saying, you just essentially have one person who's managing that part. Then the AI, what it will do is it will assist you in terms of analyzing how your performance is on the social media, and then it will give you recommendations on when to post and what to post, because you'd find that it will learn that, oh, your reels are actually doing very good than you posting a picture or you posting a graphic or infographic picture. So rather stick on doing more of reels than doing that. And when you do those reels, this is the time you should post it, and this is how long you should keep the gap between posting the other one. And this is the kind of content that you need to put on your reel. So if you're somebody who's in fashion, it will let you know that no, when you're doing your content, you should try and approach it like this. You know. So that's what the capabilities of the AI are. But we try by all means to keep the human element in all the time. We're not in a way or in a sense where we're saying we're removing every human capabilities on the system. You still have to have somebody that's going to manage the actual system.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think that is those are some of the questions that I want to ask as an agent's owner, so that I understand. Maybe I've got 10 clients within the system. I need to give them access to their different portfolios, so that they can be able to see the reporting and whatever that is happening. Right. So, as I listen to you and you're talking about Asante PowerCRM, I understand that you guys already have embraced AI and what AI's capabilities in efficiency, increasing efficiency, or what AI can do for your business. You understand? So what's your general take on AI? There's been a lot of AI being introduced into the market and different kind of...
Agent AI.
Yeah.
So our system also, something that we didn't, I don't think we showed you that. What it can do is it can receive calls.
Calls?
Yeah. It can receive calls.
Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, if we are calling the front desk and there's nobody that's answering, it will answer that call. It will take every information that it needs to take on that call. And it will give you information that it needs to give you on that call, because we've prompted. You actually prompt it according to the business that it's servicing.
So does it mean that it can you able to change the person's voice?
Yeah, definitely.
And all that stuff? You can customize it.
You customize it according to how you want it to feel. But also what it does, it learns. It learns how the actual business. So if there's a lot of people that are coming in, they are angry, it will adapt into that and try to solve those issues more efficiently as the client come in.
It is a problem, this software. You know what I'm thinking? We have a lot of people that are employed within the call center space.
Yes, we are servicing a lot of call centers actually.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now, I think one of the biggest budget in call center is training. You get someone, you employ someone, now you need to train on how to then be able to deal with an angry customer, deal with a happy customer, or whichever way that you want to deal with the customer, you know? And we have an AI that actually understands a human, which is a problem. They understand. So it's not a problem, it's a bigger problem, but it brings in...
The people are gonna hate us.
But you're not government. You're not supposed to be giving people business. You are a company that is supposed to solve problems, and that's exactly what you are doing. So something that is actually interesting, and I'm actually like I can't wait for the future with the way this is going. This is a game changer in the way we do business. You understand? Yeah.
No, it's very interesting. So there's a video that we did. One of our clients was coming in to check on I think we were still in the configuration phase. Oh, no. They were already using the system, and they were just coming in to learn about the new features that we introduced into the system. Because we're constantly developing it, you know. The more we learn...
Of course, you have to constantly develop a system.
We're constantly developing. So what happened is the client was coming in to check the new features that we had introduced into the CRM. He's already using the CRM, but it was just coming to see if there's more that we can do. And we were developing the agent AI, and he got into the office, and we called him, and we said he must speak to the AI.
Okay.
And he couldn't believe it. He thought he was speaking to a real human being.
One question about that. Have you managed to make this AI speak Zulu? To
speak, no, but to write, yes. You can change languages. We are still in the development of those. It will actually get there.
Okay.
It will actually get there. It can speak not Zulu, it can speak other languages, but not Zulu, not yet. But obviously if it speaks Zulu, it will sound very awful, but we are still in those developments. But in terms of writing, yes, you can write. It can write in Zulu, it can write in any other language. Actually, we are working with, there's a new client that we are working, I won't mention them, but they are a Chinese company, so they want to have the system to communicate with them in Mandarin. So you can actually just convert the whole thing into
Mandarin. Okay. That's great. So one question I want to ask, what does Martech means to you?
Good question. I get goosebumps when you give me that. Marketing technology is literally a game changer. It's disruptive, definitely. Because the most question I get is, what's the difference between digital marketing and marketing technology, you know? And I often ask myself, actually, what is the difference? You know?
Yeah.
And I always come up with one answer to say digital marketing, it was given to us. We didn't have control of
Okay.
it. But marketing technology, we created ourselves because we create the technology to run the marketing activities.
Yeah.
If you remember correctly, digital marketing came in with your likes of your social media, your likes of your Google ads and all of that and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But marketing technology is actually a tool that is coming to support the digital marketing side of things.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So marketing technology means to me we have more opportunities and more capabilities in our hands than it is on somebody's hands. You know, agencies can literally push campaigns on their own terms than to push campaigns on the other people's terms. Now, you find that these companies that we started working with in digital marketing, they actually now come into us to plug into our systems than us going to them to plug into their systems. We are directly connected to every digital aspect that you can think of, directly. Not so if they change something, our system automatically also updates and change something. You know, we are directly connected to all of them.
Wow.
Marketing technology means to me the power is in our hands more. That's why we call it the Asante PowerCRM, because it gives you the power to actually have control of everything that you're doing yourself.
Yeah.
You're not relying on anybody else.
When you talk about Asante, Asante is Swahili, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What does it mean?
It means it's either you are blessed, grateful, or you greet. Some people greet
Asante. Okay.
Yeah,
at least I know some of the languages. I just know the few words, but not really
at
everything.
least you get it. Some people don't. Hey? They think it's somebody's name.
Asante.
Yeah, they always ask Mukhle, who's Asante? Because they think it's somebody's name.
Okay. No, I think if we are looking at South Africa, the landscape and marketing and technology, how do you see the future of marketing technology? Do you see this space as a space where possibly we still have companies stuck in traditional digital marketing agency? Do you think they need to move to Martech kind of business?
What I recently discovered, actually, that's a good question. You know, I was interacting with one of the big agencies, actually the number one agency in South Africa. We all know which one. I will just not mention.
Okay, yeah.
I was interacting with the CEO and I was trying to sell the CRM to them to use it in their agency. And they were very quite surprised that there is such people who are actually investing energy, time, resources, technology into building such tools, because they pay amounts and amounts and amounts of dollars into a lot of softwares out there to try and keep this in track. Especially since they're working with corporate companies. Corporate is all about reporting, report. And when we show them our reporting templates, they were so surprised. You literally never do anything as a data analytics guy or a data science person. You only have, the only work you have to do is to present the report. You don't have to analyze anything because the AI does it for you. You know, I was also just so intrigued to say, okay, if we're getting such response from big agencies like that, it means we are literally going in the right direction. To be honest with you, within the space of marketing technology, we've only had one direct competitor, and that competitor is literally just not anywhere near to what our system can do.
No, I'm in agreement with the system. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Like, it's because they literally doing pretty much the same thing, but in a scale of 1 to 10, they are still on the 4% of what they should be doing.
Okay.
And we are ahead in terms of making sure that our system constantly develops, constantly develops. Every time when we get something from a client, and every time when we do pitch to clients and they give us ideas, we actually go back to the war room and try to see how can we then approach that in the vast now market, not only on that client, but in the vast market,
Definitely.
When you think of the agent AI, that came out of a client, and then we developed it for the system. Now we're servicing a lot of people with that, when you think of automations, all those things, they come from clients, and then we build it according to how the market is receiving the system.
Wow. Now, you know what? We can talk the whole day. We are marketing technology people. I think this episode for me, it was an eye-opener. I've been an advocate for marketing technology for a very long time.
Yeah.
At some point, I used to have a blog called The Timeless Marketer. That was like 2012. I used to write, I had a blog on WordPress called Timeless Marketer. I used to write a lot about marketing, even though I don't blog at the moment. But, you know, this concept or school of thought in terms of Martech, it gave birth to Tech MacPod. You know what I mean? So if you go to So yeah, I think we were quick one. We were talking about how then can our viewers or listeners be able to contact you, because trust me, Martech is the heartbeat of any organization, and our skill sets are not, they are unique. The knowledge that we have is unique, within this industry. We're supposed to be like hot property. There should be a bidding for us, but
Still a long way.
how do they contact you?
So they can come straight to our website, which is www.asantepower.co.za. And when they go there, they'll have to fill in a form, and then I'll receive their email in a couple of seconds. Then I will reply to them. Or they can contact me on 081 502.
You don't want to give out your number.
Come on.
Because
It's work.
You're going to get all the calls that you want.
It's work, man. Yeah, it's just 081 502 8478. Work only.
Good luck.
Yeah, and then they can go to our socials. It's Asante_solutions on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then on LinkedIn, it's Asante Tech Solutions. They can contact me there. They can also contact me on LinkedIn. It's Sabelo Madiba. They can also try and go to our main website, which is Asante Solutions now. It's www.asantesolutions.co.za. Or they can contact Muhle Ndwalane. They can go to the website.
Shout out to Muhle.
Hey, very shout. Hey, I'm a shout out. Shout out to Muhle Ndwalane. Shout out to Lutando Muhlekwane. He's our product manager. He's the one. Oh, you know him. I know. Yeah, shout out to him. And then shout out to the whole Asante team, man. We do a wonderful job. And the nice thing is that we are all young.
Yeah.
Right? We are all young.
I don't know which young is this one, but it's okay. It's okay.
The put on Nunu. Shout out to the whole Asante team, man. We do an amazing job. Yeah. We always surprised ourselves all the time. But yeah, they can contact us on Asante Solutions. We are always open to any conversation that people are willing to have. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate the platform. As I said, it's our first time being on a platform and talking about Asante PowerCRM. We hope there'll be more, but we hope that there'll be more sitting down here.
That's the reason why we take MacPod.
Yeah.
Because this is a safe space for us marketers and technology people to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for accepting the invite and coming through. I mean, not everyone would want to just rock up at a podcast and then we discuss what we know best, which is marketing and technology. And I'm very much appreciative of that. You know what I mean? So before you go, we have an opportunity to give away tickets for a conference that is happening in October. They call it one of the biggest marketing conferences, called the IMC conference, which is sponsored by NetBank.
I know that.
You know that? Did you register? Are you going?
Wait, wasn't that happening at Moscow?
No. It's too late to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one is the biggest.
Okay.
They call it the biggest marketing conference. You know what I mean? So we're just fortunate enough that we've been given 20 tickets to give away. So there are like 20 virtual tickets to give away that we have. The ticket costs about 1,000. Then the physical tickets cost about 3K and on. But yeah, we have got the virtual tickets. So yes, we're gonna give you that. As, podcast
supporting the podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment and engage with us. I just want to take this moment and say, I want to just thank everyone who actually listens to TechMarkPod, who watches TechMarkPod, who supports us, who comments on social media, who shares our content. It's been a pleasure. Since we started, we are now on episode 13, and I mean, we appreciate that. Please don't forget to keep on supporting us. This space is a very small space, and we need your support as well. So thank you very much, and continue doing what you're doing. See you in the next episode. Later.